Hi, my name is Zoe Schroeder, and for my criminal justice research topic, I chose to do autopsy assistant, as this is the field that I'm studying. To start, I became interested in the field of autopsy from watching a lot of TV crime shows growing up, and I was increasingly fascinated in Ducky from NCIS and that whole fun time. From there, I had a lot of different ideas of what I was going to go into as an adult, and autopsy was not one of them to begin with. And then it just popped into my head that that was something that I could do. And so I never really researched back into it to see the salary or the benefits or the requirements. I just kind of jumped on in head first because I was really excited about doing this because it was something that I found interesting. So when I first started researching this for the project, I started with the salary because that's something that in this day and age you're kind of worried about. And I learned that the average salary is anywhere between $24,616 to $47,289, which is a very wide difference in prices and such. But a lot of it's from overtime and different states. So, there's not one specific set. This is what you get if you're an autopsy assistant because different locations and offices and morgues have different requirements of their assistants, so there's a lot of variation between the two. And also because you're working in you're usually in a hospital if you're in the morgue in the basement of a hospital, or you're just around a lot of dangers, I guess, that could potentially be health issues. So a lot of the jobs that you take as an autopsy assistant do have medical benefits, I guess. So insurance. Only 33% of the people that were interviewed for this one website, Pay Scale, said that they didn't have any type of health benefits at all. And that's not a lot considering it's out of 100% of the people that they interviewed. So only a third of the people didn't have any type of insurance. After I looked into their pay scale, I looked into what education is needed, and obviously I'm in the autopsy assistant certificate program here at Mott, so once I finish this, I can basically jump in, because through the Mott program, you have to go through an internship, which basically gives you all of the training that you need and the background experience that a lot of job opportunities want you to have so that they know that you know what you're doing. And through the Mott program, you get trained on everything from filing reports all the way down to doing the entire autopsy, because that's what Mott wants you trained in how to do, is everything. Because as I said before, different locations want different things from their assistants. So at one location, you could just be writing down measurements or something, and at another location, you could be starting the whole autopsy on your own, and then the actual pathologist would only come in to like finish it up and make the proper diagnosis of death or whatever. So there's a lot of variation in what you're trained for as well. After looking into that, I went down to think about the negatives of going into this, because sometimes there's things that can really affect your work environment and your home environment in different jobs. And with autopsy, there was only a couple negatives that I could think of, which were, if you are a detail-oriented person towards telling stories, if you have really squeamish friends, they might get a little grossed out. But that's not the job's fault. That's kind of your fault if you're not taking things into consideration. Also, your clothes kind of stink after, so you really don't wear things to work that you're gonna wear home without washing. Like, you wear scrubs and stuff, so no biggie there. Uh, and then you're around death all the time, so your mental health might get a little wacky if you're not, like, mentally prepared for some of the things you're gonna work on, which makes sense because you're around death and bodies go in and out every day. Um, the other thing that I really looked into was the growth perspective of this job field, because looking into it, you're looking at it as, well, death always happens. There's no, like, people aren't going to stop dying, and that's true, but also at the same point in time, some people, like, you're not always going to need an assistant, but this field is projected to grow between 2016 and 2026. It's projected to grow 37%. That's a lot compared to, like, a lot of other jobs. And that's for assistants. That's not even for just, like, actual autopsy technicians or pathologists. It's for assistants. That's crazy to me, because that means that there's not that many people, like, over the last couple years, there's not been that many people going into the field, meaning that they have way more openings, and that's just crazy. I've decided after looking into this that I'm really happy that I'm going into this field, because there's health benefits, there's not that many downsides because I'm mentally prepared for this job and such, and it just seems kind of interesting.